Could it be the final battle of the Bay? It's the coach. This is the start of Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, only 27 miles separate the home stadiums of these two teams. Tonight, we're at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara for the Raiders and 49ers on Thursday Night Football. I'll see you at halftime. But first, let's get out to NorCal. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
On first down, Carr. He completes it to Jordan Nelson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Get down, get down. Blue 80.
Now a play fake. Carr finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. First carry for Doug Martin, the 2-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They run again on first down. Martin gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
4 down. Monday, down.
They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Down. Wide 85.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
20.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's
rush coming, and he's taken down. Tahir Whitehead coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Black 80.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
180.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Get down. 180.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Derek Carrier, the one he was looking for. And now it's second down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Down. Blue 80.
Shotgun now for Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Forbath will put this one through, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On first down, they run with Howard. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
A first carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
At running back is Jordan Howard, who was an absolute revelation as a rookie, but he finished second to Ezekiel Elliott for the rushing title in 2016. And no sophomore slump for him at all. Followed it up with a second straight 1,000-yard season and finished 5th in the league in rushing.
Garoppolo now. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
You're looking there, the defensive back is maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 6 catches, 82 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
On second down, Hill. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Martin. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Carr now on 1st down. And complete right side to Cook. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to the ground, it's Hill. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Carr going option right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, this from 33. And Forbath will put this one through, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, good move. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So out come the Raiders. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They give to Martin. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Monday, down.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Howard. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. A give to Howard. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
A dump down to McKinnon. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And we turn our focus to Doug Martin. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On play action, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A Raiders 1st down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down. Here's the run with Martin. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And off comes to Martin. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Carr. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. they have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Running with Howard. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They run with Howard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Howard on 2nd down. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. Now Howard, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Black 80, 20,
and they'll run it here. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Niners on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Black 80, 180,
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. Second quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is taken at about the 14. 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
180! 180!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
120! 120!
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They go play action here on 1st down. Jonathan Hankins with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Martin. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll find Goodwin here on the right side, and they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Niners on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Carr now to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, Carr. It's caught, Nelson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down, Raiders. The former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Carr now, 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Get down! 180!
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Now a run with Martin. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. midfield. Here's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Martin running left. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hey. 180, 120.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On play action. Now Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he missed it. It's That's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Martin. And he lost 6 there on the first down play.
And that's a major league loss of yardage and probably loss of momentum. You're snapping the ball at the 1 yard line before you suffer that big loss.
Yeah, you think of losing any yardage from the one is bad. To go that far back, that's a disaster.
And I think the play calling sequence that maybe the OC had in his head, that's got to change on the fly now.
7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Doug Martin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Doug Martin touchdown run. Forbath out to kick this one away. Whitehead, the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker couldn't make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Man open, it's Goodwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, boys, here we go. 180. Check.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Play action. Now it's Carr. He completes it to Nelson. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Get down. 185. It's up.
On play action, now Carr. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On the comebacker, complete. It's Goodwin. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a 1st down as well.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got the guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Garçon with his first grab, good enough for a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play at any spot on the field.
And they'll go on the ground. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 5. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gold is able to put it through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Switzer now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a play fake. Carr. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
He's going to air one out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Over the middle to Garcon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to haul it in is Kittle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Hey, 20! 180!
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he slings one that's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, No more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And Gould is able to put it through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They start the drive with Martin. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Try to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Garoppolo on 1st down. A dump down to McKinnon. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. Way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to let this one go deep. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Carry number 20 here for Martin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. On 2nd down, here's Carr. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Get set. 180.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here now now Johnny Townsend as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's pulled in at the 32. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And he's got his man on the out route. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Well, they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. Garoppolo again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him to 1st. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Four down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go. Tight right. 180.
Back to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, we got 4.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
We got 4.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
They run. Martin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Hey, 4 down.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Oakland, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they are